Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. What a start of the week, guys! What a start, fueled by meme rally, and market was just a chop, but there were definitely smaller names which are running today, and we capitalized on that. So a lot to discuss, a lot to learn, how we played the memes, what were the rules, the risk, that we followed playing these meme stocks, and some other morning plays that we did. A lot of day two, day three setups. If you watch the Friday webinars, a lot of those were executed today. Anyways, before I start, just a quick introduction. So, anybody who's new to my Twitter, new to my YouTube, or new to our community, these trade recaps and teachings are from any trades that I take or I don't take, but I share with you guys on the Twitter, or I'm guiding my community on voice or on my trading floor, or any of the trade ideas that other traders in my community on our trading floor are taking. So, this is the recap from that. We do not do anything random. All our trades, swings, investments are repeatable setups. We do not trade anything random. We have a repeatable system, repeatable setup. We repeat those same kind of setup that I often teach you or show you guys on Twitter or in my webinars or on my free website. I teach all those setups and the system. Every day before the market open, me and my team, we create a game plan for the day based upon support, resistance, and EMA cloud system. This was the game plan for today. You can see Intel, GME, GME, AMC were our two-star plays there at the top as well, along with Airlines, ARM, Tesla, Apple, NVIDIA, and bunch of other plays, Snow, Walmart, Target. So this was our game plan today. In addition to the game plan, we also share the daily levels with the community, SPY, QQQ, IWM, and you can see all these are the market plays. We play them every day irrespective of the news or no news. So these are levels we can use, the traders in the community can use to trade on their own with the system. In addition to that, I also share my day 2 day 3 setups, support resistance levels. And if you were part of my free webinar that I did on Friday, I covered how to play these setups. There are definitely some good setups today in day 2 day 3. AKM, NovaVax were good setups out of these setups, UPST, CELH. So we will discuss few of those day 2 setups as well and see how they worked out for us. So that being said, I'm on the voice few hours when the market opens on the voice, guiding my community through the market, through the trades, what I'm seeing, what trade I'm taking, or what is a good long idea, short idea. So I'm on the voice and guiding everyone. I will show you my time-stamped comments. Of course, a lot of my comments are on the voice. I cannot show it, but we'll go through each trade we took or any other recaps from the game plan, winner or loser. We will talk about them. Today there was not many losers except NVIDIA long, and we'll talk about those trades in detail. So stay tuned. Let's start the recap. We're gonna start with the morning SPY and QQQ short setups. So market was gapping up, SPY was gapping up, QQQ was gapping up. You can see there's this nice gap from yesterday's close, both on SPY and QQQ. So let's see what were the levels on SPY, QQQ. The levels on SPY, the resistance was 522.41, QQQ resistance was 444. So you see this area of resistance, this area of resistance had to push to show us a bullish day. But as soon as the market opened, we were rejecting that level. So when I'm seeing these rejections, then I know there's a chance of a short setup because we are gapping up. You can see this gap we have right here, right? So this is the gap we can fill for the short side. So that's when I saw this weakness, that's what I told the community on the voice, that market is heavy. Market is heavy. Watch if the clouds hold. The first it breaks 512 Ripster cloud, then it breaks 3450 Ripster cloud, then it tries to bounce and then it fills the full gap. So you see that there was a morning short. So you can see my comments here. Heavy so far. Watch if holds a cloud. Still heavy. There is a gap. Short scalps, no longs into the gap. Short scalps into 10 a.m. Right. So that's what happened. We flushed. And there was a nice opening short. And if you shorted even till later, it was a nice fade, nice morning fade. After that, it was just a chop. I mean, SPY did downtrend all day, but there was a lot of chop on QQQ, and it did give some phase later in the day. But this morning trade, first 20 minutes drop, that was a good short scalp. That was a morning short scalp. And there was some shorts in this with Nvidia, which I will discuss later. We were trying to long Nvidia, but Nvidia kind of broke down under the clouds. And so I was watching Nvidia and I took a starter that let's, maybe we break out our pre-market highs. But when I saw the market weakness and Nvidia breaking down the clouds, right away I was out of Nvidia. Took the starter loss because we always keep my screen share is always on. Folks can see the market SPY QQQ, what's market doing. I'm always sharing that. And I could see this weakness in NVIDIA when it was breaking down, and I got out. And after that, there was just some short scalps. A lot of traders in the community did those short scalps in the morning. Meta was another one which was very heavy. And let's see what were the levels on Meta. So levels on Meta was 470, 473.80. So 470, 473.80. So you see that when those levels were breaking, this 473.80, then it was breaking down yesterday's lows. It was just a short, right? It was just a short. Meta was a short. There's a no long there, and you see the levels we gave to the community, and based upon these levels, the traders in the community were short. So you see that that's how it was. And because the market was gap fill, like I teach you in all of my recaps, there's always a personality. Today market was gapping up, so there's an always chance from the short side to fill that gap. So that's how we took a long Nvidia, we got out, and Meta was short. That's how the Meta was short. And there was a bunch of other names which were weak and they were short because we knew the market is heavy, right? So that's how Nvidia was a later a short. Meta was a short in the community. A lot of traders did that Meta short in the community as well. So you can see that Raga was short, and a lot of other traders in the community were short on Meta. So that was a good trade in the morning. And let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to talk about is NovaVex. So let's see what was the plan on NovaVex and how was in our watch list. So NovaVex, guys, as you know, had a news on NovaVex had a news on Friday. And so today it was on my day 2, day 3 watch list. My levels were 8.8 was support and 10 was resistance pivot. As soon as market opens, I see the strength in NovaVex, and I gave it a long as a risk versus 9. By end of the day, the NovaVex long at $10, $1 risk returned almost $4. 1:4 reward, and the options went 200%. Let's look at my live guidance, right? So why was I long? If you missed the Friday's webinar, you can join the community and watch the webinar. But I will try to explain here as well. As you see, it was over the pivots, it was over the clouds, it was holding the 1 hour support, right? So that's why that was a setup, had a good news, so I liked it. That's why I gave it along to the community, right? So then the guidance was it was holding. Now it was all about holding the 512s. Held 512s, first target 1230, met that target. Next target I gave was 1419. We were almost close to that target. We hit 1395, right? And after that, it went sideways, tried to push, and then it held the 512s, kind of a faked down, but held this support. You see this support here? So it held this support and continued to push. Now we're swinging some of this Novavax, right? I'm expecting if it breaks 14, we push higher. And a lot of traders, I was trading the shares, but a lot of the traders in community were actually trading options as well. And those options went 200% and 100% for a lot of people. Really, everybody really, really did good. Orlando did really good. Anthony and Fahad. A lot of our traders really did good. Novavax was a home run trade for us. If you risk $1,000, you probably made $3,000 or $3,500. And if you want added options for $1,000, you probably made $2,000. So that's kind of risk reward. We are always looking for our trades, and you can see all the time-stamped guidance and here, and a lot of guidance was on the voice. So beautiful trade in the community. Let's go to the next one. Now let's talk about the meme stocks, right? So let's go as everybody knows that Roaring Kitty, the guy behind the GameStop run, came back. He was tweeting in the morning, and the meme stocks were gapping up. GME was gapping up. AMC was gapping up. GME was 21 was support pivot. Resistance was 25.45. AM support pivot was 310. Resistance was 342. So was bullish on both of these names, Gamey, long on the pullbacks, AMC, long on the pullbacks. So I gave this plan to the community in the pre-market as part of our game plan, right? So now let's see what was the guidance, how was the price action happening on those. Let's first look at AMC, right? So AMC, for AMC, when I was looking at the chart, so let's see our levels, right? So AMC was strong at the open. I had some lotos initially, and then it pulled back 512s. I closed them, and then but it held 3450 clouds, right? So the point here is you trade, even if it's a meme stock, does not matter. We use our system to trade it with confidence, with high conviction, which gives us high probability of success. We are not blindly trading it. We are not blindly trading the meme stock. We are using our conviction and our confidence, right? So, I wanted to see three hold. If I go back, AMC, my level was 310 and 3. And if you see, it was bouncing right from that 310 area, the clouds 3450. I had initially lotos and I closed them, but when it came back, then I added them back again. And I told everyone in the morning, if you see here, Lotto calls are okay to scalp. Risk is higher. Keep it Lotto size. 4 calls or 3.5 calls they are fine, right? So the 4 calls actually went 200% end of the day, and I can show you here. You see, I was added the 4 calls 55 cents. I sold most of them at $1.72. So that was the AMC trade, right? If I invested, let's say 5 grand, and by the end of the day I made like 12 grand on it. So that was a good risk reward, although I was not risking the whole 5 grand, right? But the point I'm trying to make is how to trade these, how to get the best. And if you see the time, there was no reason to sell. Bought in the morning, sold in the at almost at the end of the day, because we were holding the 512 clouds. Once it bounced from 3450, that gives you another risk to get back. And then when it breaks out over high of the day, it's gonna go up, and then you see the retest of the previous breakout again, consolidate, push, pull back to the clouds, breakout again, right? So all day, all it did was breakout flag, breakout flag, breakout flag. And when this happened right here, let me show you. And this was also my guidance on the Twitter. I was guiding all day on AMC on the Twitter, and I talked about how this five on AMC is a psychological level. You watch that for pullbacks. I shared this idea in some one other community as well. We were talking about how this five breakout was the five pullbacks rest of the day. So it pulled back to the five, held that, and pushed higher. And in my community, I also talked about that AMC, it's up to you. You want to swing or not. We are going to hold the winners, right? So we are going to hold the winners, runners. And that's why you can see that we've pierced through five psych breakout. Five needs to hold for all day push. Lot of shorts had stopped. It's over five psychological level. So the guidance was all day there because we were watching each level. And if I show you the AMC chart, we were this was the chart, right? This was the one I was sharing on the Twitter. Let me actually go back and show you the Twitter idea that I shared in the morning with everybody. So let's see if I can go here and show you that. So let's see. So if I can show you that one, let's see. So you see that AMC. So in the morning, AMC was breaking out of this base 4 psychological level, and then my next target was 477. I already gave a 477 target to everybody. I even gave the target to the Twitter followers as well. We hit our 477 target, and then next was the 5 psychological level, and the 5 psychological level was pierced through. You see, because there was a lot of shorts who were holding their shorts stops at 5, and after that you just ride the 512 EMA cloud. As long as the Ripster EMA clouds hold, you hold. There's no reason to cut. I showed you my, the options as well that we were trading. And even at the close, the 5 psychological level held. So you should understand the importance of all these levels. Look where the initial breakout was out of the 5 psychological level. And again, that pullback, profit taking, and push into after hours, scalping some shares after hours, and let's see how it opens tomorrow. I have some lotto calls. So this is how you trade with the plan, right? We had a pre-market plan, we came with the pre-market plan, we followed our system, we followed our level, we followed our targets, and that's how we made such a good profit. Money. It's about the education. Everybody can tweet out the alerts, but we try to guide and show how the system works, right? I usually don't allow like P&Ls in the community, but a lot of traders really made life changing money today. I got some nice DMs, but the the strategy, the point is to understand how you can use a system to trade these meme stocks rather than just blindly adding and not understanding where to take profit, or just holding HODL that blindly. So anyways, system led the way. Beautiful trade. AMC whole community banked. A really good guidance. Hopefully the Twitter folks did as well, good as well. So next one we're going to look at is GME, guys. So the GME. So let's look at GME. So what was the plan on GME? So GME, again, as I showed you, we were ready in the pre-market with our plan. The support was 21, resistance was 25.45. Resistance was 20 or 45. So at the open, support was 21, and I was waiting for a pullback. I was busy with the NVAX calls, but when it started to break out of this my pivot, I knew it's going to go, and I wanted to trade the lotos. I told everybody that I'm going to get the lotos. One hold happened, I couldn't get in. Second hold, and then I was able to get some 34 lotto calls on the voice, because once it's breaking out of my 25.45 pivot, I know it's going to run, and I want to scalp that into 10 a.m. So that's what I did. I got the 34 calls, and when it pushed to 38.20, I got a 50% on those GameStop calls. And you can see here, I said I logged those as well. I logged some profit, and 37. The target I initially gave everybody was 37. Why was that? If you look here, this 37 area, support, resistance. So this area was still valid. So that's my target was 37 in the morning. It was a fast trade at the open over the pivots on my voice. That was a voice guidance. And after that, when I was pulling back, I told everybody the support is 34.50 or 25, but the buyer came in right at this 27.50 all day. If you see here, the buyer held. So the buyer, let's see. So buyer was holding that level. And I did tell everyone that there's a seller at 32 that needs to clear, only then it can go. The important thing to note on GameStop, guys, is that it never really broke. It never really broke this 34.50 cloud. Never really broke that. And now it's going to making a next leg up, and it's going to push higher. Because other thing to note was all this is related to the options gamma strikes. And I was tweeting about GameStop as well whole day, because if you I show you the open further strikes on GameStop, that means people are going to load more out of money option calls, which is going to lead to more gamma squeeze. Here we go. We are almost going to the high of the day on the GameStop while I'm doing this recap. And we probably hit our 38 20s, right? We're just holding the runners, and we'll see how they open tomorrow. I still have those 34C, and if your broker allowed, you could take those 40 40 calls, 45 calls. What I was talking about today was use your profits, right? Let's see, you made 5 grand, 3 grand, or whatever you made on these meme stocks. You take some of that profit, throw them into 40 calls, throw them into 45 calls. Some people threw it into 50 calls as well, but again, they can either go to zero or they can make you few 100%. So that's how you treat these meme stocks, and you see how these levels were held. So this was your risk all day, this area 2750. So look what I'm saying here, 27 risk area is line in the sand, right? So that line in the sand remained all day and held the Ripster cloud all day, and now it's pushing after hours. It's pushed from that Ripster clouds is almost pushing $10. So see the power of the system. So that's why we use the system to trade these meme stocks. Beautiful move. Tomorrow is going to be fun. Still making money on game. So there was another meme stock that was a good call out today in the community, and that was by Tape. It was BB. So Tape was on BB all day long. So BB was another, and he really guided everybody through that BB call flow. There was a lot of call flow in BB, just like AMC, GameStop. So BB was also. So if you see where traders were still trading BB after hours, there's a lot of flow, and this breakout over, you see we held 3450 clouds, breakout over high of the day, and squeezing after hours. So Tape was on it. He continuously guided on the BBs today, and everybody really banked on the BB trade in the community. I think a lot of traders was still holding it and trading after hours. You can see BB in the community. Really well done. Not my personal trade, but great guidance in the community on the trading floor. Yeah, just a quick recap of some other trades. Snow was also one of, it was on our game plan this morning. Snow, Guggenheim up had an upgrade, bullish to neutral, 158.57 was the resistance. It was breaking out of the resistance. That's when I told everybody you can long it, watch the pullback. 161 was the target I gave, and by mid of the day, we met the 161 target and a little bit more, and then it pulled back 512. You could take a profit or you can hold it. It's also a swing from for us, and really was a decent trade. Memes took over everything, but these few trades were still good for us. All right, let's talk about Tesla now. Tesla was a big long for us at the open this morning, and pretty much gave up everything. But anyways, it was on our game plan, and we had our clear levels defined in the pre-market. I gave those levels to the community in the pre-market. Tesla levels were 170, 169, 79. I was watching at the open. It held the clouds and it broke over the pre-market highs. That's what confirmed me the long. So I told everybody risk is under 169, confirmed bullish, hold for the long, right? And that's what I gave everyone. There was 169 risk, it was a dollar risk, went on to push to 175.40. That was a $5 move. Even if you risk $1.50 and you got $4, still it was 2 to 3 risk reward trade. Beautiful trade in the community. Tesla, I gave the resistance of 174.50 to everyone, and we met. My final target was 175.90, but we was short of that by 50 cents. But definitely we always lock profit into 10 a.m. We do not think twice about it. Nice long trade on Tesla. A lot of traders did really good on Tesla all day. Community, and so Tesla was beautiful trade for everyone in the community, and well done everybody. So very proud of this one on Tesla. Bob did good. Yash Dabi, nice guidance. Kailu was doing good as well on Tesla. So yeah, so that was a really good trade on Tesla. I just want to quickly recap bunch of the day twos, right? So there were like bunch of day twos today. There was YELP, right? It was breaking 3662, pushing over 512s. My price alert was check the day two setup, and that kind of went long well. And then there was some other day two setups which kind of really worked nicely. If you see UPST was a bullish, it was a day 3 setup, and that was also traded in the community day 3 long. I told everybody in the morning. Then there was AFRM, that was also from our watch list of the day 2 levels. AFRM, UPST, CELH, ANET. So all these were long setups, and community people were trading it long. There were so many opportunities, so many winning ideas. You can see here, my guidance, my commentary as well. But everyone was trading on their own. Great guidance by RGV on the floor. UPST was a nice winner. Lot of traders were trading that. AFRM was a decent winner. So those was some decent winners in the community. RGV was on top of them. So you see that how we trade in our community. So many trading ideas, beautiful winners, all those. I quickly want to talk about this triple M, right? The reason I want to talk about this triple M is you see that I had a price alert set because it had earnings many days ago, but there was this 100 breakout, right? So it was crossing 100 breakout, and if you took that 100 breakout, you made decent money. It went on to push to 101.74, so there was a decent scalp to be made on that. Of course, it pushed after 10 a.m. It came all the way back. It was could be a decent 512 short as well. But reason I'm pointing out is the power of the 100 psychological breakout. You see the alert went right in the morning, and if you were able to grab that, that was a good nice push there on triple M. Another one I was just going to quickly discuss was a small loser, a meme stock, a KODK. And like I was telling everyone, they're going to try to pump a lot of stuff based upon these meme stocks, but we need to stay with the volume. We need to stay with something which has range and which are the leaders. I was watching this 5 breakout on KODK, so I took a small position. But when the 5 failed, I just took a 10-cent loss and I was out. Because if it's not holding that 5 level, there's no volume coming in. Then there's no use staying in that, because it's better trade AMC and GME and other leaders in the memes rather than trading this one. So small loser KODK. We moved on. Let's talk about Intel today, INTC. So INTC was, all day was our long as well, because it was super duper strong. It was stronger than any other name in since the morning, because if you see that it was bouncing off this 30 support and it was pushing higher. So it was a decent scalp move at the open, since I was mentioning it over the clouds, and it had. I think we had a news on that as well. Let's see if I can see. Yeah, you see we reported the news resistance was 30.37, long bullish if 30 holds. So I already gave a plan to everyone to long over 30, and it was a strong one. And if you longed versus that 30 risk into the clouds, you made $1 there. Decent move, 30 to 20 30% on the options. So no, it was not bad, because ATR is just $1, right? So you just got the 100% ATR. That should have been your target. Decent long winner, Intel, with the game plan and guidance in the community. Next one I want to talk about is Google. So Google was setting up nicely when AI call was going on with Chat GPT. This was our setup. It was over the clouds. It was bullish. The risk was this cloud area was our risk. This 3450, this was our risk, and it was showing me the strength, and it was relatively stronger. This one we were basically we were discussing on the trading floor. I was talking about it as well. Yusuf was on top of it, and we were talking about this level because it was bearish, right? Gap down, and then it turns 512 bullish, then it turns 3450 bullish. Now we know there's an opportunity because there's a gap. There's an opportunity because there's a gap. So that's why I told everyone that Google is bullish, market little choppy, but we can risk the 3450. We can risk the 3450. Good risk versus the clouds for the gap fill to the upside. And it broke out, and that's when I told everybody that it's good long. We can push to 168, we can fill the gap. And you see that I was talking about the gap when the stock was right here at 166, and it finally filled the full gap that I was talking about, right? So these kind of the guidance and teachings that I cover in our community, and there was an easy stress-free trade, easy defined risk, right? Even if you added 166.50, you had a 50 cent 60 cent risk, you made $2. That's good risk reward. So that was a nice midday call, and we are on top of it. We were watching the Chat GPT news, our news bot telling us, we had a live stream, so we stay on the top of it. But so I want you to know that Google gap fill trade, why we took it, what was the setup, we have a risk, and that's how we longed it. All right, let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to talk about is ARM, right? So ARM initially was, gapping, pulled down to 3450 clouds, and but the ARM, if we look here, so let me show you what was the levels on ARM. So levels on ARM was 113.70, 115.50, and not only that, ARM was also on our star play. You see, ARM was a star play, and these were our breakout 114.70. So I personally didn't take the cloud dips, but this is the breakout. That was the long setup. That was the long setup in the community, or you take the cloud dips, whatever works for you. But there was a definitely trade there on ARM. You see I gave the 111 support here, and you see where did it bounce, so you see that the level I gave 111, and look where it bounced, right? To the point. So that's why these levels are support levels. How did I draw this level? I could see this level in the pre-market, and right here resistance. That's why I drew that level. And breakout, this was the breakout. Initial reject, held the clouds and push. So this is the importance of the levels, guys, how to trade these setups. Very bullish into tomorrow, by the way, ARM. So those are the importance of levels. All right, guys, let's look at airlines. So all the airlines were initiated as by HSBC, and I didn't really have time to give the levels in the morning, but I told everybody to check the individual names: American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Love, Southwest, United Airlines, and the Jet ETF. So all the airlines were strong all day. There were opportunities to trade. This is why you have to be ready in the morning. You have to be prepared. So if you look at Delta Airline, you see that it was a nice push in the morning at the open into 10 a.m. United Airline all day move in the morning. If you look at Jets ETF, that was a nice move into 10 a.m. So there were opportunities, guys, all, so some traders were trading that actually in the community. So that's how we trade all these opportunities. A lot of traders were on Delta Airlines, a lot of traders were on United Airlines or Love Airlines or Southwest. So just wanted to show you that how we plan in the pre-market and how we come out, and we do good. All right, guys, that was it for today's recap. Hopefully everybody did good today. Amazing start of the week. We're gonna kill it tomorrow. If you want to trade with us, join the community. Do not come for the alerts, come for the education and guidance. Take care. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.